What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. So today we have a tier list video. We have the general tier list. This is not the battlegrounds one. So I like to do this video like every few months, and now 4 months have passed since my previous tier list video. So we have 8 new champions added to the contest, and we also have 4 buffs since then. So let's start with the buffs here. So we have this Spiderman right here, which got buffed, and he's actually pretty decent. He's also released as a 7-star, and I've seen some crazy stuff with 7 stars. If you get him awakened, he's very good. So for AW attack, like, you know, 2 special ones gives you so much utility. He also has a taunt. He's got a lot of debuffs, which is great. So I think for alliance, we're like short fights, 2 special ones or a special 3 into the special 3 just finishes them off. Don't really need to ramp up too much. For Alliance Quest, I give him a 3 just because he doesn't have too many immunities. He's got the debuffs, no immunities though, and a little bit squishy as well. For Act content and variants, I give him 4 for Act and 5 for variants because he is a Spider-Verse hero for variants. And by the way, I think I might remove like the variants. I think right now people don't really care about the variants, so I'm just going to put that 10% probably to like Act content or maybe a little bit more for Alliance War. So we'll see. Gonna make that update. But he gets it for an Act content, you know, not really, it's like medium, I would say, fights, but now the Act is like boosting our attack as well. So he's got some pretty decent, you know, there's some crazy weapon nodes where you increase your debuff duration and then you have to stack like so many taunts, and the specialty does so much damage. He's pretty fun in some lanes for sure. So give him 4 there, and 4 for Labyrinth and Abyss. It's like his damage is fine. It's not really a 5 though. It's I'm gonna say barely a 4 because, you know, his damage is the special 2 and the combo after before the stun expires. But the good thing is that he doesn't care about Limber if he doesn't have class advantage. So the other 5 classes, he's not gonna care about the Limber that's in Labyrinth, so that's pretty great. You can keep your damage, keep your taunts, keep being aggressive. And then I give him 4 in incursions because he's actually got some pretty decent utility for that too. And yeah, the debuffs as well, the taunts, which can definitely help you become more aggressive. And then the next 3, we have Attuma. So Attuma, you know, he mostly changed for defense. I still am not convinced that Attuma is great unless you go for like a special 3 and, you know, you get super lucky with AI like throwing specials, so you can get a lot of concussions on you. The favorite thing about Attuma, my favorite thing about Attuma is when the opponent is bleed immune, and then instead of the bleeds, you just stack physical wall. So you just do 50k medium attacks like that for a little bit. So I give him a 3 in Alliance War. You know, he's a pretty big ramp up champion. Risky playstyle if you want to be super aggressive, so I don't like that. 4 for Alliance Quest because actually he's got a self-healing. And he could do some crazy stuff with, you know, his immunity, ability, accuracy, and actually increasing it. He's got some nice true accuracy as well, decent utility. Exactly the reason why I gave him a 4 in Act and variants as well. He's got some decent utility. The damage is like okay. That's why he doesn't get a 5. But he's got some true accuracy and the self-healing with concussions. He actually purifies every single stun. That's pretty good. And then he gets 4 in Labyrinth and Abyss. He's got decent damage. In those long fights, you can just, if you can be aggressive, yeah, he's very strong for sure. And I give him a 3 for incursions because his playstyle is very, you know, stressful, I should say. I don't really like Attuma that much. So he gets in total 3.75. That's actually decent. And then moving on to Shuri. So Shuri is actually pretty crazy. Actually, first, let's go Iceman. This is the 3rd one. So Iceman, you know, he basically stayed the same, but he just got more damage. So he's actually very strong now. Give him 4 in Alliance War. Very good safety with his Ice Armor. Really good stuff. 5 in Alliance Quest. Man, this guy has 3 immunities. Safety with the armor ups or the Ice Armor. Really great stuff. 4 in Acts and 4 in Variants. His damage is fine. I would give him 5 if, you know, I would count the Scorpion synergy, like having it all the time. But I don't give him 5 for that reason. You know, he's decent, but I don't think he's a 5. And he's got the utility for a 4, 100%. And then we have Labyrinth and Abyss. You know, damage is okay. It's not over the roof to give him a 5. It's pretty decent. And then also 4 for incursions because he's safety from the Ice Armor and all that stuff. So he gets a 4.7, 4.15. And then Shuri is by far the best one from those 4 reworks. Shuri gets a 4 in Alliance War. Seems some pretty crazy stuff from Carded Mike, not gonna lie. She's also a 7-star too. And then we have Alliance Quest. Give her a 4 because the only thing that she doesn't have, she doesn't have immunities. She only has like the shock, but she's actually very, very tanky. 5 in act content and 5 in variants. She just shines in those, you know, medium to long range fights. She's insane for that. Now we can ramp her up super fast. And then 5 for Labyrinth, of course, she's one of the best. And then 3 in Incursions because, you know, her playstyle can be a little bit risky and, you know, pretty difficult to manage those shocks if there's like additional tough nodes for Incursions. So she gets a 4.5. That's a pretty great score, not gonna lie. But now let's move on to the 8 new champions that we have for those 4 months. So the first one, we have Viv Vision. Viv Vision, I'm not the biggest fan of Viv Vision, but she's actually pretty decent. So I gave her a 4 in Alliance War. It actually definitely, the tactic definitely made an impact to this decision. She gets a 4, she gets like a 4 because, you know, Doom, Nimrod were banned the previous season. Viv Vision was pretty great. She's actually Nullify immune. Great for like even Mystic Defenders. She's got 2 immunities. Very good stuff right there. I give her a 5 in Alliance Quest because, you know, she has buffs. She has debuffs. She has immunities. It's just, you know, perfect for Alliance Quest. And honestly, for those type of fights as well, they don't last too long. 4 for act content because I think she's lacking a little bit of that damage. You know, if you don't kill them with like the special 2 and then the 3 special 1 spam, it's like definitely very slow. She gets a 5 for variants because she's a tech champion. That's a tech variant. 3 for Labyrinth and Abyss. Damage is very low there. Not gonna lie. You're not gonna kill with an SP2 and 3 SP1s. Then you just have to wait your charges, get another special 1, and then just wait again. It definitely takes a while. Unless someone, you know, it has prowess there to give you those charges, it's gonna take a while. And then I just give her a 4 for Incursions because she's got the buffs. Could be great for buff Corn. The debuffs. She's got that phase mechanic which can actually save you from some block damage, which I like. And then moving on to Shocker. So Shocker, not the biggest fan of Shocker either. Not gonna lie. So, you know, right here, he's got 4 for Alliance War, same for, you know, Viv. I gave him a 3 in Alliance Quest. He only has like a Shocker immunity. Doesn't apply debuffs, doesn't have any buffs. I gave him a 4 and 5 for Variance. Same thing with Viv. You know, he's got decent utility too, and the best thing about him is that he doesn't crit. And that's honestly really, really good utility for act content. And the reason I gave Viv for 5 is, you know, the Nullify immune, which is an extra, the parry mechanic, which makes you avoid some block damage. Really great stuff. For Labyrinth, he's actually, like, I was thinking maybe giving him a 4 because of the damage cap, but you can actually build up a few of those charges and just hold your heavy attack a little bit and don't go for the special 2, and then you're just gonna do like a 30k heavy attack, which is fine, and you can just keep doing it. So I just gave him a 4, and then 4 for Incursions. And then the last tech champion we have right here, the newest champion, we have Lady Deathstrike. So I just made a video about basically complaining that her damage is not the greatest, but I can't really avoid the part that she's really, really good outside damage. So Lady Deathstrike is a 4 in Alliance War, not because of damage, but because she's very safe. Even if you take special to the face, you ain't gonna die. So I'm honestly thinking maybe giving her 5 in like Alliance War, but I haven't seen any gameplay because we can't right now. You know, Alliance Wars are down at the moment, and yeah, we didn't have anyone use her because she wasn't released. 5 in Alliance Quest. Immunities, or not immunities, better than immunities. She actually heals from poison and bleed. She does have a lot of debuffs. She is decent for Alliance Quest, like pretty tanky, like she doesn't die. 4 for content, act content, and 5 for Rants. Same thing, you know, she's lacking a little bit of that damage, but that utility definitely makes up for it. Like if she didn't have good utility, I'd just give her a 3. The damage is pretty bad in my opinion, but definitely can help you with like some certain weapon nodes and stuff like that. 3 for Labyrinth and Abyss. I mean, I just did the video yesterday. Not good, guys. Not that good. And then 4 for Incursions. She's got, you know, she's tanky. She's really tanky. Can tank those specials, those nodes, you know, especially against mutants. Just ignores unblockable, unstoppable. Really great stuff there. But yeah, 3 for Labyrinth and Abyss. You know, the only like biggest thing is for Abyss. You know, she has double medium attacks. The charges definitely run out. If you check the video from yesterday, they definitely run out, and I'm not the biggest fan of it. So we have this skill champion right now. We have Kate Bishop. Kate Bishop is really good, guys. Gave her 5 in Alliance Square, just everything just melts with Kate Bishop. 4 for Alliance Square, she doesn't have immunities. That's the only reason I give her 4. She had like 1 or 2, 5 instantly. She's so strong. Good utility as well. And that's the reason why I give her 5 and 5 for active variants. Tracking debuff is so easy to get access to. It's just literally a heavy attack. You get them to the corner, they throw specials. You have the Cold Snap, which ignores evade. If they are immune to Cold Snap, you can just go for the Caltrops, do the bleed damage, increase your critical rating for longer fights like Labyrinth and Abyss with the SP3 or the Fragility arrows. And then your Cold Snap is going to be a lot stronger because it's based off your critical damage multiplier. She's insane for Labyrinth and Abyss. If you can keep your, you know, debuffs up, she's ridiculous. She's like the fastest there. And then 4 for Incursions. Reason because it, like here with some certain nodes, it could be tricky, like keep your arrows. If there's like, I don't know, an unstoppable or something, it would be difficult to, you know, keep your arrows up. So I just gave her a 4 there. But she gets a 4.75. She's very, very strong, guys, like, not gonna lie. And then we have Moondragon, the champion that I grinded from the arena, which I'm happy with. I gave her a 4 in Alliance War. I gave her 4 in Alliance Quest. She can actually, you know, purify a bunch of debuffs when she gets to 20 of those, I think, not Mixed Emotion, that's Mantis. Psionic Charges, I think that's what they're called. And when you get to Psionic Transcendence, you just purify everything. You have, basically, you ignore evade when you do that, when you get to Psionic Transcendence. You have 80% resistance on Poison and Bleed. Exactly the reason why I gave her 4 for Alliance Quest. She doesn't have immunities, but she, you know, heals if she's got 80% reduction, especially if you have Coagulate. And then, the thing that I really like about Moondragon is that she's immune to reverse controls. That's really unique utility to have. And the reason I gave her 4 for Alliance War 2 is because she can actually put the pre-fight for someone to become immune to reverse controls for a certain amount of time. This is really great stuff. I haven't seen people use that, but you know, if you want to be super safe, you have like someone as a backup, you can just let them do a couple fights, get some charges, and boom, your next champion could be like immune to reverse controls from like null or something. That's pretty great. Labyrinth and Abyss actually had pretty decent damage. You can keep up your Sonic Transcendence by pausing and all that stuff. I love Moondragon for that reason. And then 4 for Incursions as well. She gets 4.5. She's actually, you know, very, very high. And I'm not just saying that because I have her as rank 4, but I used her a lot. And she's very, very strong. And they did such a good job of, you know, managing the Sonic charges, pausing it. She has so many ways to pause them. And I love it. I love it. Now we have Sandman. So Sandman is actually... Where is he? Yeah, Sandman is... I think people sleep on Sandman because we haven't seen too much gameplay. But I think he's a good champion. He gets a 3 in Alliance War because he's a little bit of a ramp-up champion. He gets a 5 in Alliance Quest. He's immune to Poison and Bleed. And I believe something else as well. He's got 3 immunities, I think. And, you know... Actually, let's check it out. So he is immune to Poison, Bleed, and Shock. 3 immunities right there. As a Science champion. That's definitely very, very unique in my opinion. 4 for active content and 4 for variance. He's really good for those type of fights. You know, the medium fights where you can just build up your 10 heavy, do your heavies, build up your heavy proficiencies, go for the special 3, stack those physical vol. Same thing for Labyrinth and Abyss. He's actually really strong for Labyrinth and Abyss. He's not quite the 5 that I would like though. And not like Kate Bishop basically. So yeah, and then he gets a 3 in Incursions. Could be tough to manage your debuffs and all that stuff. But that man, you know, he's got decent utility, man. He's got the Decelerates. He's got the Petrify. He's probably the best champion if you want to reverse healing. He can stack like 30 Petrifies. He can stack 50, you know, Decelerate debuffs. And also physical vol. He's very, very strong. So I just, in general, I just give him a 3.9. Okay. And then we have 2 more champions. We have Dani Moonstar. So Dani Moonstar, I don't know much about Dani Moonstar. I've seen some gameplay from Battlegrounds and stuff like that, but she's decent. She's very decent. She's actually as a 7-star as well. So I gave her a 4 in Alliance War. Haven't seen much gameplay, but I would say, you know, 1 special 1, special 2, or even a special 2 with 7 stars. Just kills. It's pretty safe without falter. You can also bypass, I don't know, Nick Furies if you get a 6-200 one, Hercules and stuff like that, Hulkling. Alliance Quest gave her a 4. She doesn't have immunities, but she's pretty safe. Can definitely avoid taking some block damage without falter as well. Get you free openings. She's really strong too. 5 for act content, 5 for vanish. She's very strong. I like the passive slow a lot. Even if there's someone that can shrug it off, passive is just so good. No one can shrug off the passive, which the slow is an evade counter and an unstoppable counter. It's like one of the best debuffs you can have for sure. And then just give it a 4 Labyrinth and Abyss. The damage is really decent, but I don't think it's quite the 5 for Dani for, you know, Labyrinth and Abyss, and then 4 for Incursions. Really high up there, 4.5. And then the last champion we have is another champion I grabbed from the arena, Adam Warlock, which I hope he does not get nerfed, guys. So he gets a 5 in Alliance War. You know, he's even got the pod if something goes wrong. You know, he triggers it, well, he gets like 25%, or you can just manually do it once per fight. He's got a regen, he takes less damage. He's got a ton of immunities, you know. He can go nullify immune on some of his debuffs, or sorry, some of his buffs, really great. He gets a 4 in Alliance Quest. He doesn't have immunities, but he does have a lot of buffs. Does have the regen, and also 5 for act content variants. He could be stressful to fight, or like to use. Not gonna lie. I'm definitely seeing that in like this season of Battlegrounds with the Unstoppable. If you see some certain nodes that like trigger random Unstoppables, champions evade like that, definitely could be, you know, risky, but he does have the utility and the damage for 5 for act content. Same thing for Labyrinth and Abyss, and he gets a 4 for Incursions because again, it could be tricky with some certain nodes added there to keep up your buffs. Also, fights could be like 1,000,000 health, which, you know, it's not gonna be easy to like keep your buffs right there. But the good thing is about him, yet if you get a Fury, it lasts for like 40 seconds. And that's the reason I love Adam Warlock. It's just, even in those long fights, you can stack so many Furies, man. And of course, I love the aggressive playstyle. And that's why I think it's high risk, high reward. Like, if you can pull this off, you get some nice damage from like 20 to 40 hits. Is like the really good damage. Because from the 10 you start getting your precision. And then the 30 to 40, you get that Fury, which is a huge Fury. But it's not easy to do that, man. It's really stressful to use him sometimes. And even while the opponent is taunted, they don't like throwing the special sometimes. But that's why I love the pod. You can just, you know, use it and then it refreshes. And if they attack you, they get stunned. So also here, guys, I did not update the rankings rankings tab right there. So you cannot see those new champions that I said today in the score. But you can check out their scores here in the general tier list. No suicides down below. You can see the overall score. It's just I did not update the rankings for this video. So I will have a link to the tier list in the description below. And let me know what you guys think about those new scores for the 8 new champs and the 4 buff champs. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.